Why is it taking long? I think it's trying to connect to LinkedIn.
Okay, it takes time, no? Couple of minutes.
Because I have put you on 2, 3, 4 platforms, so it's trying to connect to all. Just I think we are okay.
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, you're on my timeline and my page both, and then we are on YouTube as well, and it all goes simultaneously, Maya.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. It's the problem is in LinkedIn. If it is not connecting, we'll take LinkedIn out. I can upload it later. Because I thought that LinkedIn will be useful much, and there are lots of professional buggers out there. No?
Professionals.
Yes,
a lot of professionals.
Let's see. The issue is the LinkedIn. Yeah. LinkedIn is asking me to log in. Hold on. Oh shit. Shall we take LinkedIn out?
Yeah, of course, you can upload it later.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Otherwise,
Takes time.
yeah. I can't connect. I'll take link. Go live. Yeah. All right. We are finally online live. Good day, Chanaka. Good to have you on the show after a long time. I haven't done this for a while, but it feels good to be back. And good day to all viewers and listeners who will be joining us as we go along. And it's a very sunny Sunday morning in Sri Lanka. I hope it's all over the world is the same. And ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, I don't think he needs much of a intro because he had been around, and he's very versatile, as I said in my preview leading up to the show, that he has done a lot of work, and he's a top-notch lawyer, was based in Australia. Now he's back in Sri Lanka and has pursued many interests, and we go back a long way. As I said, very interesting man, and I would say that he's enterprising and very innovative as well. Chanaka, once again, welcome to the show, mate. It's good to have you.
Thank you, Charit. Good morning, everyone. I think, Charit, there's no better person to take on this challenge than Charit. And you are the perfect person for this job because you are with me from the very inception and from the very day one. And so let me explain to the, how this happened and why I did this program. During the COVID, I think in 2019, 2021, I think we can remember that we had a lot of issues in Sri Lanka. Mainly, we didn't have enough food. A lot of things happened. And while I was in Australia, I was thinking, why this happened? So when I checked all the reports, international reports, then I found out the main reason is corruption. There's nothing else. So there are small other reasons, but mainly 80% because of corruption. So corruption in the sense, if we borrow $100 and these corrupted politicians and officials, we can't say only politicians, and they were able to send the $80 back to their whatever destinations they want and hide it. So they only take $20 to the country, and this is what happened. So I decided, okay, in somewhere in 2002 January, I contacted all the UNO organizations like UNODC and Global Financial Integrity in America, because they do a lot of work. So what they have advised me is that if the government or the current officials, they do not take care of these things, why don't you try to get what do you call public and community people to sign a petition and request UNODC or the STAR program to come to your country and do some work. And this is why I decided to come back to Sri Lanka in April 2022. So this is just after, I think, COVID. But I can remember that I was shocked when I was coming to the Sydney airport. Sydney airport is one of the busiest airport. I was shocked. It was completely deserted, but still, I decided no. I need to go back to Sri Lanka and do something. That's how I started this.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, Shana. But yes, that I understand what you're saying. It all started 2 years ago. Um, but if you can tell people who's going to watch this program later on, where did this initiative come from? That when we all knew what led to that situation, after COVID, what the country went through, what led to Aragale, what we went through economically, it was disastrous, and we all knew what had happened, but no one had a clue how to go about. How did you decide the way forward is to contact these organizations outside the country? That's the way forward, because nothing's happening locally. We get there as we go on, that what Sri Lanka as a nation, what we have done to recover our stolen assets. Where did it all start? Where did you get this initiative, Shanak?
Actually, this started in 2003, 31st October 2003. United Nations passed a special convention. It's called UN Convention Against Corruption.
Right.
It's 31st October 2003. So more than 20 years ago, 21 years ago. And it's a very interesting story, because the current president, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was the prime minister at that time. Until I think April 2004. And he signed this convention, and 180 parties have committed to this convention. But if you go through that convention, if you look at the chapter 5 of the convention, it says that how to recover the stolen assets lying around the globe, other countries, outside their own country. And then the chapter 7 says what is the mechanism. So they need a mechanism. So the mechanism called STAR, Stolen State Assets Initiative. So this mechanism was organized by World Bank and UNODC both. And that mechanism initiated in 2017, exactly 17 years ago. 17 years ago. So far, they have handled 566 cases. These are numbers. I mean, anyone can go to the UNODC website or the STAR website. You can see the numbers. And they have handled 566 cases. They have recovered about $20 billion, and they have returned those assets to those countries. So last 17 years, our politicians or the rulers were failed to introduce this system to our country. Though we signed the charter, we signed. We are not worried about signing. Our guys go and sign anything, but they don't take action. So that's why I decided to come to Sri Lanka and introduce this STAR program to Sri Lankans, and to give them some confidence that yes, we can recover. Other countries have done it. It worked. It is working, and we also can do that. So that's why I initiated. That's why some people say that we have never heard the word star until I say. And this is how it started. And if you need some more numbers, Charit, I can give you the numbers. And 142 countries already taken the services of STAR. So if you can kindly upload that the document with the what you call world map, so
Right.
the viewers can see how many countries receive the services of this what you call STAR services.
Right. What I'm going to do is, Chanaka, that I will once the program is over, I will upload that entire that PDF file that you have sent me, and I will put it on the link so people can go there and actually have a look at it. It's there in detail, so they all can see that how many countries are there. It's I will do that, and what you're saying is, so there is a mechanism already in place. It's not only to Sri Lanka; it's a worldwide, and that we have all signed that charter that we are part of it. And what you are saying is we perhaps initiated it, but we are not doing anything about it. So that's the reason why you decided to come to Sri Lanka and wanted to pursue it. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. So once we actually took about 3 to 4 months to collect all these signatures, not only from Sri Lanka, I got what you call great support from Australia, Italy, European Union, UK, USA, Canada. All these Sri Lankans living in all those countries signed the petition, and as well as the online version. So I was able to hand it over to what you call STAR office. That means the World Bank office. And I requested them that why don't you at least pressure the current government to implement whatever the rules, whatever the legislation required to initiate this process. So I just want one what you call that's a main thing that is it happened in 2022 and 2023. I think just before after the IMF uh, came to Sri Lanka, and they have done a thorough investigation why it happened and how it happened, and that's how the what you call the current president, when he opened the parliament in January 2023, he has to mention this. So if you can kindly play the video clip number 1, then
Yes.
the listeners can see what happened.
Yeah. And let me clarify this. The reason why you decided to obtain signatures is simply because that there was no initiative coming from the government. So this is your like the go to the second option, right? It's initially
Of
this should
course,
have.
that
Yeah.
this is not the best option. This is not the best option, but this is the alternative option.
It's an
At least
alternative. So what you are
the
saying
best
is
option.
that the initiative should have come from the ruling government. It's not. So since
Ruling
there's
government,
yeah.
yes, ruling government, they only have to no need to take signatures. They only have to send a small letter,
Right.
letter of invitation, letter of invitation. That's the number one. So no one has sent that letter. Nobody wants to send that letter.
So can
But
that
that's why.
yeah, Chanaka, is it only the government, or can they even the opposition? That that we know that we have very vociferous oppositions in parliament. We can see certain groups making a lot of hue and cry. Can one of these political groups make this request on behalf of the country? Why only you?
You can see that last 17 years they failed to mention even this name. Star. They only say this guy is Hora, that guy is Hora, that party is Hora, president is Hora, but they haven't done anything. This is this is the thing they should have done. They should have done initially, at least pressurize the government to send that invitation letter. Still, they are not doing it. So last
Right.
week, even we had a chat that if the government is not doing it, we need to go and pressurize the president to send the invitation letter. Send the invitation letter.
Right. That I'm going to since you asked for the clip, I'm going to upload it, and it's good to have Aruna on the show. And I mean, Aruna has already asked a question. We'll get there, Aruna. I mean, I'm going to ask Chanaka, what kind of information can be obtained from, which sources. Just listen to, it says that අප දූෂණය මැඩලීමේ පනතක් ගෙන එනවා. ලෝක බැංකුව සහ එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ සංවිධානය සමග එක්වී සොරකම් කළ වත්කම් යළි සොයා ගැනීමේ ප්‍රාන්තයට මේ පනත ඇතුළු කරන්න අපි පියවර ගන්නවා. So when was this said, Chanaka? This was said in Parliament.
January, said in Parliament, opening ceremony, January 2023. Just after 4 months of handing over our petition.
All right. So let's take a listen to what he says, Chanaka. We'll take it from there.
සොරකම් කළ වත්කම් යළි සොයා ගැනීමේ ප්‍රයත්නය මේ පනතට ඇතුළු කරන්නට අපි පියවර ගන්නවා. ඒක ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදලේ කොන්දේසිය.
Wow. So that's what he said, right? That he gave the assurance that this will be included in the Parliament paper. So you mean to say it has not happened as yet? Is that what you're saying?
No. This is one of the results. This is one of the results of our, this initiative. So we asked IMF,
All right.
asked the president to initiate, ask them to implement all the regulations and rules to initiate this process. So that's why he says that IMF asked me to do this. That's why I am doing it. He clearly says that IMF requested me to do this. So this is
let's take another listen. Let's take another listen. Just see what he says. Hold on a minute.
ීමේ පනතක් ගෙනනවා. ලෝක බැංකුව සහ එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ සමග එක්වය සොරකම් කළ වත්කම් යළි සොයා ගැනීමේ ප්‍රයත්නය මේ පනතට ඇතුළු කරන්නට අපි පියවර ගන්නවා. ඒක ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදලේ කොන්දේසිය.
Okay, so this has not happened as yet. Besides the assurance that he has given in the Parliament, you mean to say that it has not happened?
No, it happened. Like they introduced a new legislation, but at the end of the legislation, they put a small comment saying that this legislation is effective from that day onwards. So what happened in the past is
irrelevant.
Okay.
It's not. It's okay.
So, but he didn't put any legislations regarding how to recover it and whether he is going to recover it, because he's not going. He knows that what happened to the money. And listeners, actually, we need to understand that the flight tracker. When there's a flight, you can go to the flight tracker and you can see the flights are going here and there and blah blah blah. Like that, the international organization like STAR or the UNODC or the World Bank, all these people are equipped with those type of softwares. When there is a $1 saying that going out from Sri Lanka, then now they can see it's going to Seychelles, or now it's going to Uganda, or now it's going to Panama or the Pandora Papers. They can see like a flight tracker. We don't have that. We don't have access. We don't have authority, but UNO has. So that's why they are doing this. That's how they did. But I will, down the track, I will give you a couple of examples, the cases. There are 566 cases. I have picked up a couple of cases. Then you can see how they recovered jets, how they recovered yachts, how they recovered money, and where were they. And the Malaysian funds, they were in Indonesia, assets were in Europe. Doesn't matter, wherever.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, right? How, right? How are you going to identify? Say that how are you going to identify a certain case and submit a submission or whatever, and say, okay, this is where we want you to check. But now what you are saying is, it's very, very clear So any transaction that has happened in any country, regardless, Sri Lanka or whatever, you mean to say that all those transactions are recorded at the UN anti-corruption unit or whatever you call it? They know that where the funds are moved. So all you need to do is to make a general complaint to UN saying that please assist us for us to recover our stolen assets, and they know what it is. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. And because the STAR program is a what you call total package. It's like a total package. What I mean, total package means they come to our country. The number one is they check all our legislations, whether it is enough, whether we have enough laws to do this job.
Okay.
And they assist us. And the second thing is they train our people, train our staff members. All these things are free of charge. They trained our people. Then they will start doing the what you call looking for our stolen assets. So maybe it takes time to recover the what you call old ones. Right? Maybe what happened in 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago can be done, but it takes time. It has gone here, there, and there.
Yeah.
But what you call, if you have placed this system in place, if something happens, like if someone has done something, within a couple of months, we can recover that funds. So we need that, we must initiate it, we must establish this process in Sri Lanka, otherwise there is no development.
But Chanaka, you said something very interesting now. So they can come to the country and assist the whatever the existing power it may be that to go forward. But that can be done only within the laws of the country, right? So if it is not legislated in parliament, and say for an example, like what you said, that the implementation comes to effect only from say 1st of January 2024, and they are unable to go back and see what has happened beyond that. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. So they will come and say, can you change that one? You need to change that one. You need to remove that clause.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. All the people, don't worry. We need to change only one clause. We can remove it. At least something happened.
Right.
At least something happened. So the act is there. So we only need to come and remove the clause. So next government can remove that particular clause. That's it. It's very
Right.
simple. It's only a small amendment.
It's brilliant. Now, what you're saying is, okay, since nothing happened from the ruling party or whatever, that that officially there is no request came from Sri Lanka, you took the initiative and you collected million signatures, and it was submitted to UN, and now some action has happened, and you could see the pressure coming from IMF, so on and so forth, asking government to make amendments and make it a condition that in the Parliament Act that that we will make an effort to recover our stolen funds. So that's a victory for you.
Of course, not only for me, but all the people who signed the petition.
So there is some effect to all what people did, and which we thank everyone for for their initiative. And
of course,
and you remember that the very first day that we stood at the Independence Square waiting for people to come, even the people in wheelchairs, how they volunteered to come and sign that petition. I never forget, Chanaka. That was a special day.
Unbelievable. I couldn't go to the car to have a small
refreshment,
or whatever, because the people, unbelievable. Because some people, that they told me that I'm the wife of a very popular politician. One lady, I'm just saying, interesting characters. And there were 3 politicians came and signed, you can remember. One is a deputy foreign minister, deputy fisheries minister, whoever. There are a couple of people also came and signed the petition. So, and pretty encouraging.
Yeah, it was a very, very, I would say, that's the word, very interesting day, unforgettable day, that which I don't forget, and I witnessed part of it, and how people lined up to give their signatures. So we know the public sentiment is there. So I think we have achieved our first objective, which is collecting 1 million signatures, and United Nations anti-corruption unit have taken a notice of our efforts, and they have made a request to the government. And President, though he mentioned that yes, that he will act on it, but we are yet to see what is going to happen. And how can you influence more, Chanaka? That to ensure that he will take this action. And also going to Anur's question, will banks such as Swiss, and we know that there are so many in Cayman Islands too, that there are so many places that that
Plenty.
will they divulge? You mentioned Seychelles, Uganda. That is it easier to obtain or to prove that our money is stolen and stashed out of the country?
Of course, maybe they will not answer to us, but they will have to answer to UNO.
All right.
UNOD. That's why we need such an organization. So they will go and do the job for us. So we only need to send the letter. So what I'm asking, why the leaders can't send such a letter? Why you are worried? Let them come into the country, do the investigation, and we will recover at least even 50%, 20% of that looted money. It's a big amount because according to the global financial integrity, they are saying that between 2004 and 14, during that period, about 20 billion, not million, $20 billion taken out of this country.
How much? 20 billion?
Billion.
Wow.
Not million, not MB, 20 billion during 2004 and 14, according to their report. It says. So we don't know, our people doesn't know, but the international organization, they know what's happening. So maybe you heard that in the federal court in USA, there was a case against some of the Sri Lankans and their officials as well. And they mentioned that Sri Lankan doesn't know, and their president's money and so in Nigeria, Uganda, there are Pandora Papers, blah, blah. They mentioned everything because international organizations, they know what happened to our country and what happened to our money.
Just I don't know. I mean, it may not sound like that's a an out of the box kind of question. Now, if you're saying these international organizations, right? They know that they could see that so much. You're talking about billions of dollars in stashed away. An organization such as IMF, can't they put pressure on us and say that that if you make an effort to recover, say destination A, destination B, and that for sure that that's our money, can't they use that as our collateral? And that now
Condition.
Yeah,
Condition.
can they do that?
So yeah, last month, if you look at my the document, PDF document,
Yeah.
they have now stopped release. IMF have sent another thing saying that if the government do not initiate recover the stolen assets part, that part was missing from that act, the early act, only the Anti-Corruption Act initiated Ranil Wickremesinghe. They didn't put that part, how to recover the stolen assets part. Now they are saying that they are not releasing the third part of the IMF funds until you do that. So you can see that, I have seen this thing.
Yep.
In the document it says IMF. So it happened just 1 month ago. Now I heard that last week cabinet has approved that. Could they have to do that? Because otherwise they won't release the third part.
Could you specify what the condition is that I know that IMF applied pressure on the government. Could you specify what's the condition?
Yes. What they are saying is make the rules to recover stolen assets.
Without a specific time frame or what? Just to leave it open. How does it work?
No, they didn't mention that one, but you can't say that stolen means it happened.
Yeah. So there is no time period.
There's no time period. But we have to wait and see how this government is going to implement that particular law because we have that experience earlier. So anti-corruption law.
Yes, it's very interesting what you're saying. So, so you think there is a strong possibility that IMF will hold back the third installment unless
They
that the
said that.
government.
They clearly said that. We are not releasing. That's why the cabinet has to approve the particular law last week. So it will come to the parliament maybe next week or the week after. So those are the things that we can say that, okay, we have done something and it is working. Maybe it's not 100%, but something is happening.
Good.
They can't go back. They can't go back now. Any government can't go back because I'm watching, the international organizations are watching. Now they know that what happened to us and we have initiated this one. So let's see.
Good. I mean, I'm very, very happy to hear that, something positive happening. So now my next question to you is that if a government decides to like play, deploy delayed tactics and, just really not, that, they can, as you rightly said, they may put, they will introduce, one of these legislations and without a clause and just, like waste time. Could you go back and say, start another petition and send it to UN and say they are not taking appropriate action and that, they're just stalling it? Could you initiate something like that as the people who started this, who got the ball rolling? Can you do that?
We can. As I said that last week, we had a big seminar at YMBA last Sunday. I made they asked me to come and do a presentation. I did it, pretty interesting. And after the presentation, everybody came behind me and said that we are ready to come with you to go to the presidential secretariat to pressurize the president to send the letter. Send the letter. We'll go there. We will come with you, and we'll pressurize the president. So I said, okay, we'll have a chat, and we'll see what we can do.
That was going to be my again. You're giving answers to my questions. Now, all this while, like that's going back 2 years since you started this initiative, and it was you and few individuals basically, supporting your cause. Has anyone, any organization, noteworthy organization, has got behind you to support your cause? Are you getting enough support from people, or people just expect to sign a petition and for you to do all the dirty work and like as usual, like what is happening in Sri Lanka, someone else to do your dirty work and everybody wants to sit and see where this is going? Is that what is happening? Anyone's actually giving you any moral, any constructive support is coming your way?
Constructive support means actually a lot of people help us to get those 1 million signatures. Right. I couldn't do it alone. And even they had campaigns in Aragalaya and the Gampa station, Mathura, Gala, Kandy, then overseas, Italy, and Geneva, or Switzerland, those countries, they helped me.
Right.
And because the problem is, I'm not blaming everyone because only very few people know what to do, what needs to be done. Because since I am a lawyer and this thing, and since I have studied, and I know what to do. And also the international organizations are behind me, of course. UNO, UNODC, or Global Financial Integrity, all these organizations are behind me. They are always, corresponding with me and giving advice or guidance what needs to be done. And if you talk about the Sri Lankan Parliament, because I have invited all the leaders of the parties, basically all were silent, except one politician. I don't want to mention the name here, but only he invited me, and he also took my file to study after 17 years. And now he is mentioning that, okay, they are going to implement those rules when they come to power. Let's see.
So we can understand that. I mean, basically, as a layman, that I can understand that none of the politicians are going to support you because they all got, I'm sure that, that, it's like, that, what can I say? It's like, you can open a can of worms and, you don't know where it's going to end. And, I'm sure that, they are connected to this what we talk about, years and years of corruption. And I'm sure that, they got a hand hand in the pie somewhere down the line. Therefore, you can be assured that you're not going to get the full support of the politicians. But what about from your community of lawyers, or is anyone has come forward to support you, or you're all by yourself in this regard?
No. There are so many community leaders. They are supporting me. There are a
Right.
lot, because everybody wants this to happen. And the thing is this: the people can do is now. This is an election year, so they can use their vote. They can use their vote because they should know that the bankruptcy happened. The main reason for the bankruptcy is corruption, nothing else. So they can vote to a party or an individual or whatever, whoever is going to do this job. And if you believe that what they call existing parties will do that, no, they will not. They will never do that. They should have done that some time back. Or this initiative is around the world for last 17 years. Even some colorful red color people are saying that this Torah and that Torah, and taking files and go there and put it to the cab and then go back and put the files back to the cupboards. But then they never mention this one. This is what they have to do, because the looted money is not here. The robbed money is not here. The assets are not here in Sri Lanka. What the hell you are doing? I mean, without bringing a star down to Sri Lanka, you can't recover these things. They know that. They also have accounts in those countries. We heard that. Yeah. Because as I said that, I told UNO, whatever organization, I don't want the names, but I need money. We need money.
So very interesting what you're saying. We just discussed about it. We can see that, as you rightly said, hopefully there will be an election coming up this year. And as you rightly said, there are very colorful parties that are making a lot of noise around the country. They're saying, in case we come to power, that we'll do this, we do that. And I even heard that they're talking about amending local laws. But as you rightly said, no mention about recovering the looted money back into this country, which is yours, mine, our kids, our families, and our future generations, hard-earned money looted by a handful of people. And I can't understand why nobody's taking the initiative, and it has to be you, supported by how many people are in this country? Or 23 million in Sri Lanka. Out of that, you got 1 million signatures, and then few community leaders are supporting you. I would say we are still the minority. That only very few people.
Of course.
We have this inclination to get our money back, and we don't get the required support. And one of the reasons why.
Other thing is, Charit, they are spreading a news saying that no, you can't recover those ones. That's gone. Don't worry. You are wasting your time. Don't worry. And if you look at the people who are talking about those things, they are the robbers.
Yeah.
They want to make they spread that news. No, you can't.
It's very interesting you said that, Shana. Just to tell you that when the change of government, I think it was during Yahapalane time, I was called to sit in some other committees, look into this corruption. Exactly what you said, that some people came with millions of files, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm just I have basic idea about the country's law, and some of those files, yes, we know that that some of the incidents that they were talking about truly that happened, but you couldn't even prove in a court of law. You couldn't even make a submission. That wasn't enough. There was insufficient evidence to start up a case. You seriously, because that most of these guys, they have operated through proxies, and impossible. But even cases that are not black and white, you reckon that this organization, the United Nations, can prove that through, as you rightly said, like a flight tracking system, though they have operated through proxies and whatnot, that they still can prove it?
Of course, So say that the Panama or the Pandora Papers. So if someone is having money in Pandora Papers, I know that some business people are doing it for to evade taxes. That's why they go and open those shell, invest in those shell companies. So if you look at the Pandora Papers, then they will go and ask, okay, so we say X and Y or whatever the name, or Peter or Andrew or whatever, and if they have $3 million, they the UNO will ask, how did you get this money? How did you get this money? So if you can't prove the UNO that this money is from the source of that funds, then they will look at it, go back from where did that particular person receive those funds. So if they can't prove that it is their source, then obviously these funds came from Sri Lanka or our country.
So it can be. You are saying that it can be tracked and it could be proved, although they have made many efforts to cover it, and
Of course,
it can be
that's
done.
what I said, that I will give you a couple of examples because that is pretty interesting. Sorry, if you have time, I can mention one or two cases.
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
There is a in Nigeria during 93 and 98, there was a president, General Sani Abacha.
Yep.
Sani Abacha, anyone can Google it and see. And he looted a lot of money. And part was in England, $198 million, and returned to Nigeria 2003. And another 723 million was in Switzerland, Swiss bank. Somebody asked the question, Swiss bank, and returned to Nigeria in 2007. And other one, again in United Kingdom, $22 million, returned to Nigeria in 2014. It took a little bit of time. And another one in Luxembourg, 322 million, returned to Nigeria a couple of years ago, 2017. So like that, there are so many cases. Then there is another case in Malaysian case. And the guy who looted that money initially took it to Singapore and then to Indonesia and bought a jet and a yacht in America. So money is money is from Malaysia and funds were in Singapore, bought some assets in America. So you can see that the complexity of the matter. They recovered everything and returned to Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the countries in Asia taking the star services regularly every year. And you can see that we can't see any politicians in jail in Sri Lanka. Our country is the only country. There is no politician in jail, but not in jail, I mean. Yes, there is one in custody right now, but not in jail. They're in jail. Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Maldives, any country. Even in France or even Germany, even in Italy, there are politicians. Even in Australia.
Yep.
But not in Sri Lanka.
Not in Sri Lanka, yeah, because they are very well protected. Now, this very interesting comment that Aruna has made, that he's saying that RW was talking of sports law. Shall we listen to the second clip that you have sent, just to clarify which law is he talking about, or just take a listen? Let's see. Aruna, let's see whether you pick up anything. Oh, well, for sure that you can say that he's talking about the recovering of stolen assets. It's not the sports law. And
No, but the Recently, at a youth conference, one young guy asked, what is happening to recovery of stolen assets from Ranil Wickremesinghe? He
Right.
asked the question. It's an open forum. This guy, our president says, I tried, but there was no enough evidence to against Rajapaksas. I couldn't find. But if you have any evidence, you can go to the bribery commission and complain.
So what
So
you
he
have,
tried. I
yeah.
think he tried. He tried.
Wow.
There was no evidence.
Is there actually, now that you mentioned bribery commission, now say for an example, now when you talk of corruption, and you briefly mentioned that one minister in custody, and now what transpired, that when it comes to government tenders, and if there are any irregularities, that they have conned and taken people's money and taken that money out of the country, and that also leads to the same, that it's a stolen assets, that they're stolen people.
Of course, of course, everything.
So any any
Everything.
any
Because
fraud,
money belongs to Sri Lanka.
any fraudulent matter, it could be recovered if any money is like black money taken out of the country, and just whichever way it can be tracked, and it could be recovered.
Yeah. It could be recovered. It happened, and there are 566 cases, and this is what happened last 17 years. But we couldn't do even a single case because we haven't invited that particular program or the organization to come to our country and initiate that process.
It could be a tedious operation. I mean, as you say, that it could be painful, it can be time consuming, and it can take years. But as long as we get the ball rolling, and there can be some light at the end of the tunnel, as you mentioned, Nigeria, Malaysia, and this is the way forward. But I'm amazed that what you're saying. Even these Sahodarias who making a lot of noise around the election time have not come forward, just to give you a hand, or to mention, in their manifesto or whatever. Nothing mentioned in how they are going to recover our stolen assets. Am I right?
Of course, I have requested in writing to all the leaders of the current parliament, but no one, except one person. But I don't want to mention the name. But he invited me and inquired me about the process.
So where do we go from here, Chanaka? That
Now, and other thing is now, as I mentioned, that the next step is the best option is now no point of pushing this government because they will never do this one honestly, properly. And so best option is now that this is an election year. Elections are, so people can use their vote to make this happen. Why don't you elect proper people to the parliament? People who can do this job.
Yeah, but you don't have an option, Chanaka, because that all three, I mean, the front runners, that realistically, that three people, I think three parties, or three individuals who will make an impact in the next election. So if none of them are that's focusing on this, how would people vote? Whom do they vote for?
Wait and see, because all the civil organizations are getting ready. They are organizing what you call a big alliance, and as soon as the elections are cold, they will come forward. You can see, because 50% of voters haven't decided. We all are talking about the decided people's votes now. According to the what you call that survey, or this survey is the what you call the numbers are according to the people who have already decided. But there are undecided, the big portion, big portion, about over 40%. So those are the people who is going to select the next government.
So are you talking about the presidential law, the general election? That what are you talking about?
Whatever election, whatever.
So
There are people,
so
many people.
so
And also my second initiative was that there are 2 to 3 million overseas Sri Lankans. Out of that, at least 2 million people, they have voting rights. 2 million people overseas, Sri Lankan overseas people have voting rights.
as much
But
as
they
that?
don't have a mechanism. Yes. Yes.
You mean you're talking about the
And
dual
it's
citizens?
growing.
The dual citizens are living.
Dual citizens, yeah. Dual citizens, they have voting rights.
Yes, they do. But you are saying the numbers are 2 million. So that's a significant portion.
1.6, of course, 1.6 million is what you call the workers overseas. They have voting rights. So I met election commissioner and I handed over a letter again. This is my second thing I just want to mention that. And because we don't have a mechanism to vote. I said that, so I have explained to them what are the countries using these mechanisms, out of country voting systems, and the South Korea is the best, and even the India they used out of country voting system, because those people, those 2 million is 20 lakhs. Forget about 20 lakhs, even 1 million, 10 lakhs. So these people can make a big difference to the Sri Lankan future. Because they are not voting for what you call takarang kala or what do you call packet of rice or whatever. They know how to select people. So they live in what you call developed countries. They know what happened to our country. So I tried to do that as well. So
a couple of things, what you're talking about, Chanaka, these are foreign workers, these are expats, not the people, not the migrants, not the people who have left the country, and so that is insignificant, I believe. The people who have migrated, they don't have such large numbers.
no, that's what I'm saying. 1.6 is, according to the Labor Ministry, 1.6 million workers.
Workers, yeah. So do they have a system? Do they have a system to vote? Can they vote from overseas?
Other countries, some other countries they have. About 48 countries currently using is called out of country voting system.
Yeah.
But we don't have a system.
Yeah. So then how many people would make that effort and have the resources in case that suddenly there's an election? You reckon those people can take time off to come to Sri Lanka and vote? So that's so you're.
Yes, election commissioner said, we are ready. Chanaka, we are ready. We can do this. But we need the legislation. So Parliament has to amend the act accordingly. And then we are ready to do that.
Ready to do what? I mean, for enable people to vote from overseas. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, of course, yes. We can have a hybrid system. So that's why I explained to him how to do this, the process, and how to follow what you call South Korea and other countries. Because hybrid means you can manually vote or you can do online.
That's a basic human right, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day,
of course.
And I believe they are the people, the real heroes of this country. I think they still remit almost, unlike the people who robbed our assets. And these are guys who have gone overseas, do a job of work and send 90% of their remittances back into Sri Lanka. And I think that should be priority, to give those people every right to vote. I think it's just a basic human right, as I said. What do you reckon?
Even those Sahodaryas go around the world and collecting dollars and funds and all this money and donations, but he never said this. He never gave that promise that saying that at least we will give you the voting rights if we come to power. No. Why?
It could be very interesting. There are, what can you say? There are sheep going around in wolf skin. You'll never know who they are. So people have to be very careful. What they preach to people, they do one thing, and that they mention something, then do something else, and this is where the problem is. But going back to what you mentioned, Chanaka, so you believe in the event that that they officially announced there's going to be an election, regardless presidential or general, you reckon there'll be more credible people will come forward and compete?
Of course, they are getting ready.
That's interesting.
I know that.
That's interesting. And that leads to,
because people are waiting.
Yeah.
People are waiting.
They're looking for options. Yeah.
Parties,
Yeah.
new faces, because they don't need these current 225, 226. They need new people. So it's coming. Wait and see.
It's good news, and that leads to the question that do you have any political aspirations in the future to go into politics?
Of course, because otherwise I can't do these things. To make this happen, and to recover all these stolen money, looted money out of our country, I want every single dollar to bring down here. And of course, without power, you can't do that. Only I can talk. No point of talking and coming out from Australia and taking such a risk to my life as well. And so we have to do something.
It's interesting, what you said, that although that you have the inclination to do the right thing, without power there's not much you can do. So that in order to make a significant difference, I suppose you have to get to the parliament. That's a
Of course.
So that's the next
Of
step.
course, that's why, even though without this power, I have done as much as possible. Still, I am doing. But to complete my effort, I need power. So it's up to the people of Sri Lanka to decide.
So why don't you make that this the priority, that your slogan should be the man who initiated the stolen recovery assets? That should be that's your prime target. I suppose you mentioned the fact that the billions that is stolen from 2004. That's if we can recover, as you rightly said, 10 to 20%, I suppose
big amount.
That will help our cash flow and most of the issues that we have.
Of course. Because now, when I started this process in 2022 April, our our debts, overseas debts, foreign debts, was about to 54 billion. Now it has gone up to 64 billion. Now
that's the total number of debt that we have.
Yeah, foreign debts.
Sorry. Yeah.
Every day we are borrowing money. We are borrowing money. We are not paying. It's going up. So we need those looted funds to at least to do something. Otherwise, there's no hope for Sri Lanka.
So I believe that's what IMF is trying to do. That we are very comfortably that we are waiting for the money to come from IMF without making any effort to recover looted funds. So IMF is basically saying, mate, enough is enough. Make an effort. Try and get even a fraction of what is stolen from you guys without asking us money. Is that what they are trying to do now?
At least they said, at least implement the rules first. As is the first step. Our people are dragging it. So you can't expect anything more than this from current politicians, sadly.
I hear you, Chanaka. I hear you loud and clear. But why don't it's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show, to ask what your intentions are, like how we go about. Yes, we took the initial step. We collected 1 million votes, and with that we have managed to put some sort of pressure on the government, and IMF is watching, and so you have got the numbers. That the amount is over 20 billion. Like that's what you have. Probably it's more. It got to be
more.
It probably it's more than that. That we are roughly saying 20 billion, and that's our country. That's our wealth. The country's money, the people's money, our future generations' money, and we need it back. And just make a concentrated effort, and to make it priority number one, and make everybody in this country aware. We have to make every single effort to get this money back.
Of course, that is going to be a big slogan. There's going to be a main slogan in the coming election, because it's all about economy, all about bankruptcy, why it happened, how it happened, what was the main reason, is the mismanagement or the corruption.
And it's a very valid point that Aruna had said, that if we now, as you said that, our foreign borrowings, keep mounting, that's become increasing at the moment. So that we are not, so if we continue to do that and we have no way of paying back, and we can see that, we are diluting our assets, and we keep selling all our, the resources we have in our country's assets. And will you end up, very similar to Gaza very soon, that, we will not have anything in this country because all our assets are not stolen, sold to other countries.
Of course, we will become a colony of another country. Or we have to sell the whole country.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Chanaka, isn't it? People don't even bother, even to listen to, when someone talks. And it reminds me of the story, like we are like crabs in water until the water boils. That they are all dancing, singing, and doing all kinds of things, and without seeing the bigger picture.
So initially, when I initiated this one at the beginning, people started laughing at me as well. You are doing something impossible. This is not happening. But why can't you go and see the numbers? Why can't you do some, do your Google search, do your homework, and see whether it can be done or whatever before. So very sad. But now we have 2.6 million people living with government assistance. So what else we can do?
Well, so let's break it down. That we have one thing we have established. We perhaps will not get any support from the people in power. And what you said, that even if the established names, the established parties that who are the front runners of the next election, they are not even mentioning the fact that they are going to make an effort to recover these funds. So there is we don't have any hope in the future either.
Of course, because they could have done it in the past. They could have done it because they are in the parliament. At least they are in the parliament. I am not in the parliament.
Yeah,
they are in the parliament. At least they can bring as a private bill. As a private bill, they can introduce the legislation.
And which they are not going to do.
They haven't done it. They will not going to do it.
They are not going to do it. So that's a fact. And so our future, and the only way that we could pay back our debts is to make an concentrated effort to recover our stolen funds. That's where our,
of course,
realistically,
there's no other way.
There's no other way. You can talk about curbing, like some of our brothers who are making a lot of noise, and reduce the government expenditure, do this, do that, introducing VAT to people. I can't see that.
Cut down politicians' salaries is nothing. Those things are nothing. We need to increase their salaries and stop corruption.
It's true.
Some people are saying that we need to cut down politicians' salaries. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they increase the salary and stop corruption. Otherwise, they will start doing the same thing. Otherwise, how can they live? Some people are living with friends' funds, and you know what I mean? They get vegetable from their friend's stall, shirts and trousers from friends. Can't do this.
True. I think what you're trying to say is, like, if you look at the established other countries, that you become a politician, and perhaps if you go back in time, some of the senior politicians who are no longer with us, with respectfully we talk about them, they didn't get into the parliament to make money because they came from backgrounds with a lot of money, and they actually want to serve people. But now what is happening, every Tom, Dick, Harry want to get into the parliament not with the right intentions. They don't want to serve people. All they need is they get there to make money. So as you rightly said, if they are not sufficiently paid, remunerated, that's obviously they are going to rob, because they have a certain lifestyle which they need to maintain. They need to spend on their election campaigns and name it.
Even the countries like Australia, and I mean, if you look at their salaries, pretty high. but they don't do no corruptions. So they don't need to do that. That salary is enough for them to live. But those are the countries that as soon as you retire, they look for a job. They look for a job once they retire, or once they lose their job, parliamentary seat, they look for a job. So they are qualified. So they are qualified people. There are companies to hire them. So they look for a job. And
Right.
have you seen that our politicians are looking for jobs? No, never.
No, I hear your point, because they are qualified people and they have certain expertise, and what they have done, and they could be an asset even once they leave the parliament seat. The wisdom they have acquired over the years and could be an asset to any organization, and would be happy to employ them. And also their accountability and their integrity and all that matters. And here, if you are running if I'm running a company, do you want to, even if a guy wants to volunteer, I wouldn't touch a politician. No way, Chanaka.
No way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. No.
Nah. Even if the guy come and say, mate, I'll come on board as a consultant, unless that the guy has a clean sheet, I will not touch, such people. Chanaka, to tell you, I think you're a good guy and that you got right intentions. I hope you're not trying to get into politics for all the wrong reasons, like, what your predecessors are doing at the moment. I hope not.
No, I'm not. You know my character very well. From the beginning, I'm always against corruption. You know what happened in cricket board, what happened in,
No, it's what you're saying, mate. All the very best to you. If you are going to come forward, and in case that you got to make your intentions known to the public, and it's very important.
Of course,
And
I'm coming to politics because I said that. I'm coming to politics because otherwise you can't do these things. And if you don't take up these positions, all that as you said that every these rogues will come to power, because you can't ask them to vote if there are donkeys, and you are asking them to vote for horses. There are no horses.
true.
You need to. Yeah. So
My-
therefore.
I hear you, mate, but I know that we need a system change. There's no doubt about it. But with you saw what really transpired. We are talking about a country being bankrupt. There's so much corruption. I'm sure that you saw what happened on 1st of May. The extravagance that was displayed. The big meetings that we had, the amount of money that was spent. So where is that money coming from? So that's an indication, Chanaka. For an example, if you want to come forward, want to take these people on, do you have the resources to take these people on? And that they have really established themselves in the political circles. Will people respond? Even if your intentions are clear and where you have a very strong message? You seriously think that you can change people's minds?
It's up to them. I can try. I am here to help them. If they don't want my services, and thank you so much. I can go back to Australia and start my professional life.
Your own practice. Yeah, and I think and I think the way forward. I think you probably I'm no expert in politics, Chana, but how I think. I always thought it could be done, and use the technology in today's world. And you're not going to. I don't think you have the resources to go around the country, have these big tamashas.
No way.
There's.
And I don't need money from others as well. I have never collected a single dollar or single rupee from anyone for this initiative. And I used my own funds. Everybody knows that. And some people are collecting money. Some people are publishing their bank accounts and asking money, asking donations. No, I have never done that. I used my own funds up until this coming election and see whether the people needs my services or not.
Or you could like someone we know that what is happening right now. You could go around the world and start collecting money, talking to the to our hard-working laborers, put a red shirt on and go around the world and start begging. That's
I could have done it. I could have earned millions, but I haven't. I will never do that. I don't want that.
so it's amazing. So you do you foresee a scenario that in case there's an election is announced, that you probably will see that again people lining up like what happened few years back to Ratabe Ragan Viru again. You reckon that they'll come to Sri Lanka again?
They will come. They have to come down and vote for us, not for the same people. I don't think they will. I think that a lot of people realize, but I'm not saying 100%, but at least a big portion. They have changed up to a certain level. I'm not saying that all the people have changed, but lot of people. Now they are waiting for newcomers. They are waiting for new faces. They are waiting for correct people to elect the parliament. And especially the young generation. They hate the current politicians. So whatever they do, or Mayday or whatever, it's nothing. Just wait and see, and when you check the ballot boxes, you can see the results.
It's very interesting. I mean, if you come forward, you know that you always you will have my vote. There's no doubt about it. Just to make a difference, I will say that I will know 2 words about it. I was with you right along, and you can be assured that. And I will also talk to each and everyone I know. I think it's a good cause. Whether it happens or not, if we can educate people, and this is the way forward. And if we are to lift our heads as a nation, we have to make a concentrated effort and try and recover at least a fraction of our stolen money, which is your hard-earned money. It's very simple. I don't know.
Of course, we need that money. We need that money. The thing is this now, the people who looted that money, say about 15 years ago, he looted 5 billion. Think about the current value, the current amount, even the interest.
The appreciation of what it was. Yeah.
Maybe three times, double or 3 times.
Yeah. But Chanaka, and the saddest part is, yes, we all know that that our money is looted and it's stashed somewhere else. At least the people who looted that money, have they made use of it, or have they got access to it?
I think they have access. Otherwise, how come they live like kings? I heard that recently somebody has bought about 70 million or whatever worth of properties in Colombo last month. Couple of properties, not one.
So that's the black money that they are trying to make it white, to bring it back to Sri Lanka.
Of course.
So this is the whole operation. This making black money white, and just what is going on.
Course. But there are people, they use a lot of people to make them white. You know that. Some not only the business people, and some artists and blah blah blah. Celebrities, they use a lot of ways, but it doesn't matter. If there is a law, we can recover everything.
It's good that Chanaka, before that, I didn't even realize that. Oh my God! I have spoken to you for 1 hour 11 minutes. That it was I was completely absorbed in the chat, and I learned a lot listening to you. And what are your parting words that want people to hear? And I can see you got another vote, and Aruna says that I'll vote for him too. So you already got 2 votes. That is exact. That is I know, but that is exactly how we started collecting a million signatures. When it just
I have confidence that the people who signed the petition, mainly from this Western province, mainly. And others are from overseas and maybe from around the country. But all these people are waiting until I come forward, and they will do their job.
Chanaka, that's a very valid point. You got 1 million signatures there, and people actually signed. And even if you take 10-20% off, you still like a significant amount. Yeah, that's a good assumption.
10%. Even 10% is a big amount.
There you go. Excellent,
So
mate.
those people are eagerly waiting.
Yeah, that's good news. I can, if you succeed, I can look back to this date and I can say, yes, I made my contribution in my own little way. That that's
Of course.
perhaps in a
You did a great job.
perhaps
When I check every picture, you are there.
yeah, that's good to know, mate. That my heart is in the right place. When I decided to support you, I knew it was a great cause, worth supporting. And unfortunately, some people don't feel the same way because they probably have, as we spoke, they are more or less like, it's like a can of worms. We said that probably they also have benefited somewhere down the line, which is sad if they have. But you can still, we are human and we make mistakes, and that's all we can do, that accept and do the right thing, and at least leave something behind, our legacy for the future generations. That's all we could do. That.
So the star name always will be with me. So everyone can remember, I am the one who introduced that word to Sri Lanka.
Good on you, mate. All the very best to you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
I know that you have embarked on a very, very, what can I say, on a hard road, and it's not going to be easy. And I'm sure that you will have a lot of resistance. Without much support, you will have a lot of resistance coming your way in the future. But never give up. And I'm looking forward eagerly that when they are going to announce for these elections, and whatever you need, I'm sure that there'll be people like Karun and many more who will support you and will back you. And there's another reason why people should back a neutral guy like you, to get a strong message across to these the rogues who are ruling us and continue to rob us. And I think it's about time that people send a message across. And there's another person that that you say, okay, you're getting your votes. There you go. And many more, I'm sure that what people who will watch and will support you, and I will continue to take the message around. And knowing that, now that I know that you're coming forward, that's great news. Let's work towards it. And I'm openly, you could assure that in my next post on Facebook, I will openly say that, yeah, there's somebody coming forward and tell these big a-holes, when I say capital A, that who are good for nothing. I think all these, as you rightly said, all 225 in the parliament is of no use. Even the ones who are wearing red attire and making a lot of noise, I have no faith in them. And I think they have their own agendas. So we need neutral, new people, and to put our country on the right path. And hopefully you're the man. We'll support you, mate, and all the very best. And thank you very much to everyone who listened to us and who will listen to us. And once the telecast is over, it will remain on Facebook and YouTube. And I shall see you again next time, Chanaka. If you want to have another show, please, that. And if you want to officially make your intentions known to the public, I'm there, and we can do another show. And I'll give you that assurance.
Thank you so much for everyone.
No worries, mate. And once again, all the very best. And everyone who will listen to us, have a great week ahead. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.